Morning, Dave. Yeah, I'm driving back down again to do my little bit of work for the community, work for the people a little bit more vulnerable than myself and yourselves and everybody else. Thought it'd be a nice day today, but it just started raining. So let's see what today holds. So obviously these drives down always give me time to think, talk about specifics. So just for everybody watching, I've spoken to a couple of my pals and a couple of people that I was looking for the green light to talk about my journey and my part of my life where they're included, and they've given me the green light, and I can just be as honest as I can be about my relationships with these people, my experiences with these people and what I've learned. So I'm not going to go into that on this drive down. I'm just letting everybody know that from tomorrow I'm going to be getting back onto my story, starting with a little recap. So it'll be an extended version of everything tomorrow and the day after and the day after that. So it might roll on, because I'm going to be talking about the effects of the life that I've been through. So for effect, I'm going to talk about everything up until my shooting, because the mindset I had before my shooting was the total polar opposite of the mindset I've got now. So I really want people to understand the sort of drive behind why I've done what I've done and why I've become who I've become and why I behaved the way I behaved. Although you've had a snippet, on Friday, tomorrow, we can go a little bit deeper in, because once I speak about certain people, you can sort of see the levels that I rose to and the environments that I was mixed in, and the people that I learned from, you know. And everybody in life goes through 1,000,001 different scenarios, right? And everything's tested: your resolve, your commitment, your sort of ambitions, your loyalties, you know, your work ethics, your principles. Everything gets tested. Now, certain environments test you for the wrong reasons. So everything I've been covering in the last couple of months is all about the mindset and the grooming and the manipulation, right? But on the next part of my journey, I was actually encouraged to learn rather than be manipulated for the tools that I have and the ego that I used to have, you know. So I was encouraged to do a lot of things really bad. I was supported, I was made to feel good, because we all, not just me, there was thousands of us that normalised violence, gun crime, drugs, you know, that. And to normalise that is a form of insanity. And to live in that world and to live on them, with them principles, is insanity. Like, I was having a conversation with young Sean Gray just a minute ago, before I got in the car. And he said, I remember we used to do all the sparring back in the day, 10, 12 years ago. It's amazing, isn't it? He said, wow, I actually feel like an old fella now. You're talking like that. And we went on to the person I used to be, because he remembers me as a young man. Like, he was, I think, 18 or 19 when I first met him. And now he's 20 odd years of age. Coming on 30, if not 30 already. He will let me know in a little while, and I'll let you know. But yeah, he's coming on 30, if not 30 already. If I met him when he was 18, 19, so over 10, 12 years. So he'd be 30, 31, maybe 29. And it was just nuts. And the first thing that sprung to my mind when we was talking was the confidence I used to have. And when you think about it, when I met this kid, I was off the hook with insanity. And I said to him, do you remember when everyone used to wind me up? At the time, I never used to knew they were winding me up. But people got given information and used to make me snap. So people knew who I was. People knew who I was like, right? But they never used me. They took the piss out of me because of the way I used to snap. They used to wind me up. Like, this one, Marv, this fella said this about you. This fella said do this to you. This fella. And you know, like, I bumped into some fella early, Marv. He said he was going to, apparently you and him fell out a little while ago and he had to give you a slap. And I'll be like, what? Who? What do you mean slap me? No one's ever slapped me. You fucking mad? Who said it? And then I'd want to know who said it, where they are, and go and confront them. But because of the pitbull reaction, and it used to be comical because it was over the minorest of things that I would pop. So the intelligent lot used to just take the piss in that way, humorously, not in a malicious way, but just have a laugh and a giggle, and they go, I'm only winding you up. Calm down, you lunatic. Calm down, you lunatic. So the mindset I used to have, and this ain't a joke. If I walked into a place and my pal said to me, Marv, we got to walk in this bar in a minute, or we got to walk in this club in a minute, or we got to go to this house in a minute, and there's 7 people in there, all tooled up. One of them said, you're an absolute cunt, and he's going to give you a slap. I wouldn't think of the tools. I wouldn't think of the amount of people. All I'd think about is that cunt ain't going to give me a slap. I'm going to fucking smash his head in. And I wouldn't think of the guns, the knives, the weapons. I wouldn't think of that. I wouldn't think of the fear. I wouldn't think of the death. I wouldn't think of the hospital. I'd just think about what I'm going to do to the geezer who said he's going to give me a fucking slap. Because my limbic system could never back down from anybody, no matter what. Like, it's not that I've stuck it on people trying to give it a big one, but I'll give you an example. I'm in an old drinking hall called the Tin Pan Alley. Now, people that know. It's an old bar down the West End. It's been in the band since the 60s. And all the old gangs used to get in there, but it's really notorious for the London and Northern criminals. As they come in from Euston, they hit the West End. Tin Pan Alley's on the fringes of the West End, so they all drink, party, socialise. Then they go onwards from there, and then end up coming back there. Jimmy Fraser used to run that gaff, and George. So the Tin Pan Alley was a place where all the notorious people used to go, of the criminal fraternity. So I'm in there one night with all the ticket types, CF, TF, like RF, you know, all these people. If they're watching, they'll know what I'm talking about. Right, because the F family are my friends. We've grown up, we've been through some madness, not in a bad way, just party way. You know, party way, we partied hard. Anyway, so I'm in the doing what you're doing, all drinking, laughing in the toilet every 20 minutes for a sniff. So anyway, I think I've just got out from doing a 5, or I've just got out from a lump of bird. I spent a bit of time with the notorious gangsters from the East End and South London. I won't mention names because I'm not a name dropper, but the highest people up the ladder you can imagine from East London and South London, West London and North London is who I communicate with, socialise with and done trades with in prison. Some of the hierarchy never used to get on with me because I was the nose. I was the guy that gnaws the whole shit up, and I was noisy, I was violent, so I was just a headache for some villain. So I got to swerve off some of the older lot. And I used to just be ruthlessly fearless and putting it on everybody else that was a Scrooge boy or a T-boy or someone that banged up early or someone that never just give it to the screws. I just think, well, wow, you're not a villain. Anyway, kind of very long story short, I'm in the tin pan, getting the admiration, getting the emotional pat on the back, gratitude. You're the man. How you doing, Marv? All that gangster talk, in the toilet, sniffing, talking nonsense. Anyway, this fella came in around the same age. No, he's a bit older than me. He must have been about the same as me now. He's about 40 odd years of age, but I was only 25. So gets out. And this is the kind of mindset I had as a kid as well, because anyway, so I guess I'm giving it a big and having a laugh, having a joke. And obviously I had a bit of reputation. I've always had a bit of a reputation growing up. And I don't know how people spoke about me, but I got showed a lot of attention, a lot of admiration, and a lot of sort of respect, so to speak. So I'm in the tin pan, gone to the toilet. This fella walked in. I cannot remember his name. Call him Mick for argument's sake, right? So I walked in the toilet. Mick's walked in behind me, right, with a full-length leather Mac on. Now this geezer's 6'2", 6'4", bald head, right cockney. So he's walked in the toilet where we're having a chisel and having a laugh, and you know, you go in the toilet, have a sniffle, and take the piss out of someone. All of a sudden, this fella's walked in. He's walked in. How we doing, Marv? Look, I hope you don't think it's rude, but I just want to introduce you to someone. So I said, yeah, no, you're all right, mate. Go on. Anyway, he stepped aside and he's introduced me, or tried to introduce me, to his 13-year-old son. 13. Now, you got to think about it, right? We're in the toilet, midweek, because we was out every day back in the day when I was at it. Midweek, we're out in the West End, right? Valued up, sniffed up, drunked up, about 1:30, 2 in the morning. We're in the car seat in the Tin Pan Alley. The fella walks in and tells me he wants to introduce me to someone. He takes a side step and tries to introduce me to his 13-year-old son. I said, are you having a laugh? He said, what do you mean, mate? This is my son. I said, no, I'm going to ask you again, mate. Are you having a fucking laugh? He went, what's the matter? What's the matter? I said, what do you mean, what's the fucking matter? I said, he should be home in bed, mate. I said, what the fuck do you want to introduce him to me in the toilet in the tin pan at 2 o'clock in the morning for? You stupid looking cunt. Do yourself a favour and fuck off before I weigh you in, you stupid looking cunt. Do you know what I mean? Like, and the profanities I use, I believe are warranted. Like, I was disgusted with this man. Like, how the fuck would you want to, what the fuck are you doing? Like, we're in the toilet sniffing. Like, don't get me wrong, I've done what I've done. And I partied hard. And I've done everything. I smoked weed, sniffed coke, took Valiums, everything, right? But my kids never see me do nothing. My kids used to see me drunk, but they wouldn't see me fucking sticking shit up my nose, sticking pills in my mouth, or even smoking a joint. My kids never even knew I smoked until they were 16, and they knew what smoking was. Because if I smoked, I'd brush my teeth, wash my hands. Like, I'm one of them dads. Like, I don't want my kids to see the badness. Do you know what I'm saying? So this disgusted me. So the mindset of some villains through their programming is pure, just insanity. Like, but they grow up thinking people are going to respect them. Like, my son, look at my son, who's dressed exactly the same as his dad, big long leather coat on, 13 years of age. Like, I wouldn't condone that to anybody. Like, I wouldn't do it. I wouldn't do it. Like, when I was a kid, I used to do it, right? Because you don't know no better. And then you start, like I said in my last podcast, right? Everything I'd done for people was try to help them out. I weren't really making money out of people, but in the same breath, I was still getting them to risk their liberties. And then basically, my unique selling point was that they could tell everybody but the police that it was my gear or my work or my money, and so they wouldn't get robbed. Do you know what I mean? That was a principle that I used to put in. I said, look, if anyone asks you, just tell them it's mine, innit? to tell them you're holding it for me, or tell them you're doing it for me, or tell them whatever, but it's mine. If anyone asks you, it's my money. Because then people are going to have to rob me or rob me. Do you know what I mean? It's that simple. So I don't think anybody ever got robbed that I work with for that same principle. Because I'm not a bad guy. I'm just a guy that's trying to get in front, trying to help as many people get to the same place I'm getting to. The problem back in the day was I used to use the wrong products. Do you know what I mean? And the wrong mindset. So now I've transferred with the right products and the right mindset. The principles are still the same. So I'll still help anybody do anything. So yeah, I've had a few people respond to the advert that they put out on the official Marvin Herbert page, the mentoring and motivation speaking one. So if anybody wants to come on and do whatever they want to do, express their opinions, talk about their story, sort of, as long as you're prepared to talk about enough about the truth, give me a bell so we can cross some T's and dot some I's, because I can't have people coming on that are actually going to rant and rave about nothing. We need to have some sort of structure. I need to understand you a little bit. I need to understand your journey. You know, we need to have a full conversation, you know, because I don't want to offend anybody, and I don't know who's done what or what's done what to who, and I just need a little bit of background into every individual before they come on, because I don't want to start causing an uproar. Now, what I mean by that is I'm prepared to talk to anybody, right? Because everybody has issues, right? Everybody needs sort of advice, information, strategies and instructions, right? So I can't say I won't work with anybody, right? But what I don't want to happen is someone come on the air and then just say, for example, they've raped somebody or molested someone's child. That's not something that I'm looking to get involved with and sort of market. Do you know what I'm saying? I only want to work with the people of similar mindsets, of similar environments, and in similar processes, you know, because they're the only people I can advise. Everybody that's been on my journey, or close to my journey, or come into contact. If you've had an husband or a girlfriend, a boyfriend who's been involved in crime, like if you've been to prison, if you've taken drugs, you know, if you've been stabbed, if you've been shot, you know, if you feel like life ain't worth living, if you feel like you're not good enough, if you feel like everyone's talking about you, all that sort of stuff, right? I can give you advice. I can give you tools to go away with, and they'll help you develop into being a much better human being, you know? So the choices we make from the lifestyle we lead, from the environments we live in, determine our futures and our destinies, right? So that guy tried to introduce his 13-year-old son. And I'll tell you another little scenario as well. I walked into, we used to be out raving. I won't mention no names, but we were out raving one night. Goes back to a gaff, one of my pals' gaffs, on the, I'm in Swiss Cottage. Back from raving, so we're partying hard, taking ease, drinking, sniffing, doing what you like. By the end of the night, when we used to get back to the house, it was the crack smoking sessions, right? The fiend behaviour, right? So I've turned up on my mate's gaff, and there's a couple of birds there. But one of the birds looked a little bit too young for my comfort, right? So I said to the bird, excuse me, love, how old are you? Watch her, I think she was 17 or 18. I was like, wow, I was like 20 odd years of age then. So I was like, wow. I said, you know what? You can't be in here. She's like, what do you mean? I said, you can't be in this house. What's about to happen in this house? You guys can't be here. You're fucking off your head. I said, where do you live? So I said, over West London somewhere. So I said, come on, let's go. What do you mean? I said, I'm going to take you home. He said, you can't stay here. And as buzzing as I was and as wild as I was, I drove that young girl and her mate home and told them never to come back to that house again. I said, never go back to that house again. I said, because next time there might not be someone like me that will take you home. And what might happen to you in that gaff might ruin you for the rest of your life. I hope I never see you there again. Do you know what I mean? And I've just banned, it's gone. And the mad thing about that scenario is, basically, I think 10, 15 years later, a really good friend of mine said to me, you know my wife. I was like, really? He was like, yeah. I was like, who? He said, blah, blah. I said, I don't know, mate. I don't know no one by that name. He said, yeah, you do, you know her, man. You took her home from her house one night. You walked into a gaff and she was in there and you took her home. I was like, ah, I do remember. What's her name? Crashed back. Ah, yeah, wiki, yeah, I do know what was happening. Nice lady, nice girl, blah, 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 blah. So he gave her my number, we had a conversation. No, we met up in the West End. He was like, wow. I was like, wow, fuck. I said, imagine that. Imagine if you went back to the house. Imagine where you would have been now. And she'd married a real good guy, had a baby, settled down. You know, like, and I just, like, things that crossed my mind is, I wonder what would have happened to her if she never bumped into me that night. You know, in comparison to a lot of people that I know that fell by the wayside. And the one bird that I can actually talk about, who was my pal, bona fide growing up, was a young lady called Emma Anderson, who was hit by drugs and the addiction so hard it was unreal. We sadly lost her a couple of years ago, but she was a phenomenal person, so giving, caring and loving, but just trapped with that addiction, you know. And it gets the best of us. And this was a woman that went from strawberry blonde goddess of the rave scene, right, to I'm not even going to try to describe her, but she was the shell of the woman she used to be, you know, because I don't want to disrespect her memory, because her memory's beautiful in my head of the woman that I met, the girl I met, the woman she become, and the adult that failed her, you know. So just thinking about where people end up when they come into contact with me shows the integrity of the journey, the information, the transformations that I'm trying to build in myself, and also ripple onto others, you know, because I wouldn't want to see anybody live like I lived as a kid. Like my nephews lived, like my brothers lived, like my cousins lived. I wouldn't wish it on anyone, I really wouldn't. You know, but there's people out there living similar lives now that need help, that need guidance, that need information that will help them. And I can't harp on about it enough, but the chimp paradox, man, it is so easy to understand, to apply, and to do, to achieve amazing results. But you've got to look in the mirror first. You've got to look at the man you are and think about the man you want to be, and then just change a couple of things within your mindset, you know. And by doing that, you'll find peace. Like, I found peace. Like, I'll get frustrated every now and then with people, and I do snap every now and then. Don't get me wrong, I'm not perfect, but I snap in a way where I can't go to prison. You know, I can't ruin people's lives. You know, so I might just get in my car and just you know, fuck, or just do things like go to the gym and just have a circuit, have a mad blowout, do 50 burpees, you know, and just once you start, you can't stop. So put targets in the way. Say, right, if I get angry, I'm going to do 20 burpees today. And every time you get angry, do 20 burpees and make sure you do them. And then every time you get angry, your brain will think, I don't want to do burpees. So it stops getting angry. And it is that simple. And I know it sounds simple, but it really is that simple. As long as you're prepared to do the burpees. You know, every time you get angry, do the burpees. And it works. It really does work. It You want to do burpees, do press-ups. Don't do press-ups, do sit-ups. Whatever it is you want to do, just get down and do it as much as you can until you can't do no more. Every time you get angry, or every time you do something, or every time you think about taking a drug, you got to do 50 burpees. And then you'll stop thinking about drugs because you won't want to do burpees. And every time you think about burpees, drugs, do a burpee. Like, people say, oh, it don't work, it can't work, but it worked for me. It worked for me. Like, I was smoking crack, I was smoking heroin, sniffing heroin, taking ecstasies, like sleepers, Valiums, fucking uppers, downers, spin me arounders, like everything you could imagine taking, I've engaged with. Why am I a raving junkie? Why didn't I come out of prison a raving junkie? You know, because I couldn't fail. I couldn't fail. So anything but success was failing. So anything I was addicted to was failure. Cocaine. I used to take cocaine, but not in the beginning every day. And then I was like, I can't do this every day. So I only done it when I went out. And then I caused so many problems when I went out that I had to stop sniffing it when I went out. Otherwise, I'm just not making money, I'm going to prison. And that's the madness. So you got to put your reality into perspective, give yourself goals, and work towards them officiously, right? Officiously, right? And don't give up, you know. But the mindset of that criminal fraternity is an insanity. So I'm trying to push it towards a mental health issue, right? Because it's just about programming. Program everybody different, everybody will act different. You know, program everybody the same, everybody's going to act the same. And that's all the criminal world does. Programs everybody to do the same things, and they make you feel weak or small for not doing it. Yeah, like even a young kid got shot the other day in Queen's Crescent. A young kid that I've grown up with, known him since he was a baby. He was my cousin's mate growing up. Harmless kid, righteous, vegan. He's been a vegan since I've known him. Like, smokes a bit of weed, ain't in no ag, ain't in nothing. Like, he got shot the other day for nothing, for literally nothing. You know, so being in these environments, you don't have to be a bad man to get shot. You don't have to be a bad girl to get shot. You can just be an innocent bystander in the wrong place at the wrong time. But whose fault is it that you're there? It can only be yours. So make the right choices about your friends, your company, your environment, your landscapes, and your home. Where you live, where you breathe, where you sleep, where you eat, where you socialise, you know, because it is important. If you want to keep going round and round in circles, then stay in the same place, with the same people, doing the same things. If you don't, then just change a few bits. Like, I'm not that bad. Do you know what I mean? I'm not that bad, and I've changed massive. People say I've changed for the better. I'm easier to talk to, I'm easier to communicate with, I can have a laugh now. Nothing so serious. Like back in the day, you couldn't crack a joke with me. You couldn't take the piss out of me. Like, what? You're mad. You couldn't take the piss out of me. It weren't on the cards. Unless we were grafting together in a graft car and we're just having a laugh with each other. That's acceptable. But if you're a normal person on the street or a normal person from the plot that's not part of the inner circle, you can't crack jokes with me. Well, not when I was in it. I weren't that guy. I weren't that guy. Like, everything was a disrespect or a liberty if it wasn't, I suppose, fear. If you never showed fear or respect, then it was a confrontation. Nuts. And you couldn't even have a laugh or joke. You couldn't even mention anything. Like, if there was anything wrong with me and you mentioned it, then there'd be a problem. Like, and that was the normal. So now the normal is actually going to work, getting up, getting the kids ready, going to work, training, eating healthy, preparing dinners, like putting the kids to bed, and watching a movie. You know what I mean? Getting up, cooking breakfast, healthy, going to work. That's normal. That's what I do now. You know, support the kids, go and see the kids in their school plays, school assemblies, sporting events, all that sort of stuff. You know, it's crazy. Just normal now. Don't have to worry about old people knocking on my door in a negative way. Keep it all straight. Alright, so that was journey in. Madness in it. So that was the first tower block, or that was the place where I got nicked for my first armed robbery. Fellows Road, Winchester Road. Crazy. But yeah, popping around my mum's, see if she needs any shopping done, any bits and pieces doing. I've got to go and see a couple of clients. Yeah, it's nuts. But yeah, the mindset, man. So I'm going to be on my story now, because we can talk about things without interruption. I don't have to worry about mentioning people's names or situations that I've been through. It's all good. It's all gravy, so they say. You know, so it's lovely, lovely, lovely. So I'll be back on later on this afternoon just to cover up a little bit of mindset thing later on. And then tomorrow, 11 o'clock. So stay tuned. Let everybody know. The story continues tomorrow. God bless. Have a safe day, and I'll speak to you soon.